Welcome to my Game Week 28 score predictions of the 2022/23 Premier League season. Sorry I haven't been here for the past couple of weeks, but I am back now to predict 7 games for this game week. 3 of the games are postponed due to the FA Cup happening at the same time, but we begin on Friday night where Nottingham Forest take on Newcastle United at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest defeating their last game, an away defeat, a 3-1 defeat against Tottenham. But at home, Nottingham Forest's form has been pretty decent so far. They did pick up a 1-0 victory over Liverpool here and also picked up a 1-1 draw against Manchester City not too long ago. Newcastle United did pick up a 2-1 victory over Wolverhampton Wanderers in their last game, but Newcastle United haven't really filled me with confidence as of yet. I know they are having a way better season than what they normally do have. For me, it's just these draws. They're picking up draws when they really should be winning games. And, it's fine. It's all brand new still. Eddie Howe's just come in really halfway through last season. The ownership, it's all new. And their squad still isn't a top class squad when you have a look at the likes of Arsenal and Manchester City, maybe Man United and Liverpool as well. They're struggling, and Newcastle United are amongst them, and they're having a really good season, Newcastle, but they are drawing games against teams where they should be picking up all 3 points, and it is something to build on for next season. But for me, I do think that they are going to drop off from now towards the end of the season. I do think they'll pick up a point in this game. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And with the likes of Liverpool, Brighton, maybe even Chelsea coming back now, it is going to be very interesting to see who takes those Europa League spots. Newcastle United are currently in 5th place. But we move on now to the next game where Aston Villa are taking on Bournemouth. Aston Villa picked up a 1-1 draw against West Ham United in their last game. Again, a game where they probably wanted to win that one, but a point, not a bad result whatsoever. Their opponents, Bournemouth, very good performance in their last game. Did very well to beat Liverpool 1-0. They were pretty unlucky not to pick up anything from the game against Arsenal prior to the Liverpool game, where they did lose in that game, but it was a 3-2 defeat against Arsenal, and that is not bad by any means. Bournemouth did really well in that game. Aston Villa, as I mentioned, picked up the 1-1 draw against West Ham in their last game. Bournemouth come to Villa Park in the relegation zone, but they can also come with a bit of confidence. The last 4 times that these two sides have faced each other, when you have a look at the past head-to-heads, Bournemouth have come out victorious the last 4 times. So something for Bournemouth fans. Also with the performances that they have been putting in recently, it's not out of the question. I'm going to say Bournemouth are going to come here and pick up all 3 points. It was a 2-0 victory last time these two sides faced. I am going to go for another Bournemouth win, but I am going to back both sides to score. 2-1 away win for Bournemouth in this one. We move on now to Brentford against Leicester City, where Brentford did pick up a defeat in their last game. It was a 1-0 defeat against Everton. Again, really, they would have liked to have picked up all 3 points from a struggling Everton side, although when they have been playing at Goodison Park since Sean Dyche has taken them over, they have been pretty good. We'll come on to Everton in just a moment's time, but Brentford back at home for this one. They have been much stronger at home this season. Leicester City, their struggles continue. 3-1 defeat against Chelsea in their last game, and question marks over Brendan Rodgers' future now. He's got to be close to getting the sack now. I know Leicester have had some pretty tough games as of late. They played Chelsea, lost to Chelsea. Southampton, they should have done better, but then against Arsenal and also Man United, I suppose you could let them off with those games. But when you have a look at where they are in the league table, 16th place compared to the other previous seasons, that's not up to Leicester's standards. So Brendan Rodgers has to probably turn things around very, very soon. When these two sides played each other earlier on in the season, it did end in a 2-2 draw, and I'm going to go for the exact same for this one. I'm going to go for a high-scoring draw, 2-2. Okay, the next game, Liverpool against Fulham, is one of the postponed fixtures. So we move on to St Mary's now, where Southampton take on Tottenham. Southampton, they have been doing really well in their last couple of games. Picked up a 0-0 draw against Manchester United in their last game, but they probably should have won that. They had a load of opportunities and did really, really well in that game. Beat Leicester City 1-0 prior to the Manchester United game. They did lose to Leeds United, but then prior to the Leeds game, they did beat Chelsea 1-0. Southampton, they are currently in 20th place, but it is very close between 20th and 16th. There's like 3 points in it, and Southampton, with the way that they are playing, they can stage a comeback and survive the drop before the end of the season if they keep on playing how they have been. Their opponents, Tottenham, really you don't know what you're going to get from them. It could be, in the last game they beat Nottingham Forest 3-1, as I did mention above, but then they did lose 1-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers. It isn't on here because these are just the past Premier League games, but they did lose 1-0 to Sheffield United in the FA Cup, lost 4-1 to Leicester City. They have these patches randomly where they just completely aren't on it on the day, and I'm going to go for a draw on this game. I think Southampton will be able to pick up a point. When these two sides did play each other earlier on in the season, Tottenham did absolutely smash them 4-1, but I do think that this time round is going to be much, much tighter. So yeah, 1-1 draw. Next up, Wolverhampton Wanderers against Leeds United. Not the greatest of games, this. Wolverhampton Wanderers, they are at home at this game. They'll be looking to bounce back from their 2-1 defeat against Newcastle United. And to be fair, Wolves, they have been doing a little bit better than they have been doing in previous seasons, coming up against the Leeds United side that did manage to pick up a 2-2 draw against Brighton in their last game. But prior to the last game, they have not impressed me whatsoever. They have been failing to score goals. They have lacked creativity. And for me, I'm going to go for a Wolves victory in this one, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 home victory. It was a 1-0 victory to Wolverhampton Wanderers when these two sides did play earlier on in the season, and I think Wolves will be able to do the double over Leeds. We move on now to Chelsea against Everton, where we come on to Everton where when Sean Dyche did take them over, when they've been at home at Goodison Park, they have been a completely new side, but away from home their struggles still continue. They picked up a 4-0 defeat against Arsenal, lost to Aston Villa 2-0. Coming up against the Chelsea side that haven't been the best as of late, although if we have a look at the past couple of games, they did beat Leicester City 3-1. Prior to that, again, it's not shown here because it wasn't a Premier League game, but they did beat Dortmund 2-0 in the Champions League. Also beat Leeds United 1-0 as well prior to that game. So maybe Chelsea are slowly returning. The problem I have with this one is Chelsea not really being able to score a lot of goals, coming up against an Everton side that have conceded an absolute ton away from home this season. So if we just combine the two together, I am going to go for a Chelsea victory, and I'm going to say they'll pick up a nice comfortable 2-0 win in this game. Next up, Arsenal against Crystal Palace. Patrick Vieira's return to the Emirates also brings with him some horrible form. They have not won in their last 12 league games now. I think it has been. It's been a mixture of draws and defeats. I think it's been 6 draws and 6 defeats in their last 12 Premier League games. Arsenal, we know that they can have struggly patches at times, but at the Emirates, currently in first place still, looking to extend that gap between themselves and Manchester City. Coming up against the Crystal Palace side that, as I said, they haven't won in their past 12 games. I am going to back Arsenal to pick up all 3 points. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Arsenal win. I don't think it'll be that high. I think Crystal Palace will go here and basically just defend. They'll try their best to pick up a draw in this game, but I do think Arsenal are just a bit too strong for them, and they will come away with all 3 points. Next up, Brighton against Manchester United is another one of the postponed fixtures, and the final game, Manchester City against West Ham United, is also one of the postponed fixtures. So there we have it. Those are my 7 predictions for Game Week 28. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.